The easiest way to play retro video games that you loved as a kid is already on your computer. I don't know why more people aren't talking about this, but I'm going to show you how to set it up and how to use it. Tech it before you wreck it. What's up, geeks? I'm Kirk. We all have our favorite systems from when we were kids. Nintendo, Super Nintendo, Atari, PlayStation. But playing those games these days can be overly complicated until now. I found the ultimate easiest way to play all those games, so I'm going to show you exactly how it works. And hang out to the B side of this video, because if you want to play those same games on your smartphone, and who doesn't, there is a little bit of a catch that you'll want to know about first. The website you want to go to is called effortlessly.io, and this isn't totally new, but it's gotten so much better over the past year or two that I had to show you because I just don't think enough people are talking about this. It's essentially a full-blown retro video game emulator that lives in your browser but can also live on any device you have. Wait until you see this. I'm going to show you how easy it is to get started. So without even installing the app for Windows, we're going to skip over that and click on the button in the upper right hand corner that says Play Now in Browser, because we don't have to install anything, guys. Look at this. It jumped right into our library. It didn't even require us to sign in at this point. So you can see it's got a list of all the different systems that it can work with. This is incredible, guys. It can emulate Atari 2600, the 7800, the Atari Lynx, the Jaguar, the Amiga, the Commodore 64, TurboGrafx 16, the Game Boy, the Nintendo, the N64, the Super Nintendo, of course. It can do DOS games, it can do Neo Geo, it can do Game Gear, Sega Genesis, all the way up to PlayStation. It can't do systems more powerful than the PlayStation, at least at this point. They don't have PlayStation 2 or 3 or anything like that, but all the retro games you can think of from the 90s, for example, are gonna be inside here, at least the systems. There are no games. That's why it says no games played recently, and if you click into these systems, you'll see they're all empty. So that's why we have to add a game. So I'm gonna click the button right here that says Add Game, and you'll notice it pops into the login screen. You do not have to log in. This is where you can create an account, but you don't have to. We can skip this altogether and click the button here that says Continue Without Account. It's gonna give us a free demo for 7 days of all the advanced features, but honestly, you can do most of this, play most of your games with most of the features totally free, although I do suggest supporting these guys if you start using this a lot, because it is an incredible system. So you'll see all the different consoles, and you can select a console if you want, or you can just click the button that says Auto Detect, which will allow us to upload a ROM. If you've never done emulation before, you're probably thinking, what the heck is a ROM? So a ROM file is essentially a file that represents a video game cartridge or a video game disc. It's all the information from that cartridge stuffed into a single ROM file. That's what they call them. There's a lot of questions about the legality of ROM files. I'm using ROM files for games that I actually own, so you're gonna have to tread lightly here and decide for yourself. And I can't provide ROM files for you, but you can find them pretty easily on the internet. I've got some basic places you can start down in the description if you need to search for them. But again, I can't provide direct links because legally, I just don't know how that works. With that out of the way, now we click the button that says Select ROM. And I'm gonna try a game called Marble Madness, one of my favorites for Nintendo. Again, this is a game that I own the cartridge for. This is a zip file. I'm going to hit open and select open to import this ROM file. You can see it immediately detects it. One compatible file found. I'm going to click on the actual name of the file here, and it will add the game. Within about 1 second, the game is now added to my library. So I can click Go to Library, and if I scroll down to where it says Nintendo, you'll see I now have one game. Now, normally it would show the cover or a graphic for this game. For some reason, this game doesn't have a graphic. That's okay. We can still click on it and it will load the game up. Now, you can use your keyboard to play the games. I would suggest getting a Bluetooth controller or even a USB controller. This is from a company called Cracked. This is called the Neo S. This is not sponsored or anything. This just happens to be the Bluetooth controller that I like right now. I'll put a link down in the description. This is a solid controller. It's going to cost you about 50 bucks. There's also less expensive options that you can find on Amazon. I'll link some of those as well. I mean, we're talking 20 bucks and under, and it'll work just fine with this emulator. If you want to get something that's more higher quality that will work with pretty much everything that supports Bluetooth, I would definitely suggest this Neo S controller. Okay, so back to the web browser, and there's a little button in the bottom right-hand corner that looks like little corners of a screen. That's your full screen button. Go ahead and click on that button. Now that I've got my Bluetooth controller rocking and rolling, I'm gonna hit start. You can pop your name in here if you want, but again, this is the full-blown Nintendo game now playing here on your computer screen. With a Bluetooth controller, the experience is even better. And this emulator is actually amazing, especially at Nintendo. I mean, it's so easy to emulate Nintendo, but the graphics are exactly what they should be. The speed, the controls are exactly as they should be. This game is just like I remember it. And again, any ROM file you can get, it doesn't have to be Marble Madness. It can be any other game that you like. You can drag and drop and bring it into this environment. Now I want to jump back to the screen here, and you'll see that there's a bunch of buttons around the screen. So you've got a lot of cool features here. In the bottom right hand corner, you can click this button to take a quick screenshot. You can click this camera button if you want to record video of the game that you're actually playing. In the bottom left hand corner, you've got a couple different buttons here to play and pause your video game, which is pretty cool because it'll literally pause the game. You can even go backwards in the game. If you hold this down, it'll rewind the game a little bit. You do have to enable that option in settings, but you also have an option to speed the game up or slow the game down. This might be more useful in situations where you need to slow the game down to perform better in the game, or if the game just seems to be running too fast, for example, you can slow it down. In the upper left-hand corner, you've got the game menu, and this will take you into a ton of different options to help you set up the game. Really, lots of stuff going on here, guys. You can adjust your saves so that the game can save in different places. You can add cheats to it. You can adjust the controls. How does your controller control the game, or how does your keyboard control the game? And look, you can set up to 4 controllers right here, which is pretty cool as well. You can set up touchscreen options if you want to do that. You can add macros for specific key combinations, for example, games like Street Fighter where you want to do special moves. Very cool. Audio and video, this is where you adjust basic audio and video settings. And then you've got something called shaders. This is really cool because this changes the look and the feel of that video game. Nintendo games weren't designed to be run on a 4K monitor, for example, so you can go in here and select CRT, and my favorite is the Z-Fast. What that does is it changes the look of the game to be more like a retro video game. So take a look here, and I'll show you exactly what this looks like. So take a look. Instead of looking like a brand new, super crisp image, it has that 1992 kind of video monitor look to it, the shape to it, the pixelated look to it. Play with these shaders. Some of these are only available if you have a subscription, but I do think the shaders give you more of that retro look that most people will feel a lot more comfortable playing on. And then you've got some more detailed controls here for the specific core, and you can change settings specific to all Nintendo games or specific just to certain games themselves. So if you want one game to perform differently than another game, you can do that by clicking back and forth between platform and game. And let me take you back to the main library screen. I want to click on Add Game, and I'll show you again how easy it is to add a game. I'm going to select Auto Detect. I'll select the Select ROM option, and now I'm going to go back to Sega Genesis and another one of my favorite games, Sonic the Hedgehog. So I'll select that game. You can see in this case it actually imported some of the artwork automatically. I'll select Play Now, and just like before, it's going to jump me right into that Sonic the Hedgehog game, and you can see I've changed the look and the feel of the screen, and it managed to keep that for this game as well. And now I've got Sonic the Hedgehog. Again, my Bluetooth controllers here, rocking and rolling. I can hit start, and I'm playing Sonic the Hedgehog right here on my computer, just like I'm a kid back in 1996 sitting in my bedroom. How awesome is that? Now, you're going to want to create an account because not only will it allow you to pay for a full-blown membership if you want some of those advanced features, but it also lets you save your games into the cloud, which means you can save your place. If you're playing a game, you can come back 2 hours later and pick up the game where you left off, which is awesome. You're going to want to be able to do that. But wait until you see this. There's also an Afterplay mobile app. So you can play these games on your phone, and all of the games you put into the cloud on your desktop computer will show up right here on your phone, and vice versa. So for example, I've got Super Mario Brothers. I'm gonna tap into this game. Take a look at this, guys. It shows you those Nintendo controls. I can hit the start button, and if I was playing this on my computer, I can pick up this game right where I left off here on my phone as well. But this is a full-blown emulator right here on your phone. It supports all those systems, and it's gonna play those games, as you can see, just like you remember playing those games back in the day. I'm just scratching the surface here of this system, guys. There's so many cool features and configurations that you can get into. I'm telling you, this is the easiest way to begin emulating old school video games on your computer and on your mobile device. Everything connects together. It really is an amazing system. Do me a huge favor, guys. I'm trying to grow this channel to 100,000. I'm getting close. Subscribe to the channel, helps me grow, and I've got a lot more cool videos coming your way. And throw me a comment below. Let me know the first game you're going to upload to this emulator. Let me know which game that'll be. I know for most people, there's one game that's like a core memory game. So comment that below. Can't wait to see what you guys are saying. And if you've got questions about afterplay.io, throw those comments below as well. I read every single comment. I answer every single question. Tech it before you wreck it. I'm Kirk.